to get my picture up there. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm sure y'all can hear me because my little brother is doing what he does. Um, okay, I'm kind of new to this. This is what I got different because I'm not actually on the YouTube. I'm on single, so bear with me. Um, to the side, in the comment section, I did at the top, I did drop my link. So if you want to come up top and you come up to the chat, if you want to comment or so, and elaborate on what I'm about to talk about, then feel free. Thank you for coming to my first ever stream board. Um, and today we're going to talk about colorism. Um, and the reason why I feel so strong about this is because I am a darker shade woman. And growing up as a darker shade little girl, that's not different, but you know, you kind of can tell when people gravitate to somebody that's light skinned. But anyway, we just want to talk about the effects of colorism and discrimination within our race because it is a problem. It's a huge problem within our race. Um, we define colorism as sometimes referred to as skin-tone discrimination, and it's a prejudice, especially within a racial or ethnic group. So other ethnic groups also have this issue. And it might be with like Hispanics, but you know some Hispanics are even dark skinned, like they're dark, like darker than me. Some are darker than me. If you've been to Mexico before, it's a lot of dark skinned Hispanics. So not only within our ethnic group, it's also common to other ethnic groups also. So it's actually favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin. So let's get into it. So y'all remember back in the day, y'all my age, when the school days came out like in 1988, it was exciting because it brought attention to the field for black college. But what stood out to me was the sorority scheme for fraternity scheme. So, it explored the inner discrimination within African Americans. The light skinned women were called the wannabes. And the dark skinned women were called the jigaboos. I know y'all remember that. You remember those scenes they dancing around and you want to be like me and mad because you're not like me and your hair nappy and you know all that kind of stuff. So they were just basically ragging on each other. When we're talking about these are all um, African American women. And it just brings out the point that, you know, like back in the day, we would say all the Q dogs were the dark skinned, stocky type, athletic type dudes, and the Kappas were the light skinned, tall dudes. And that's how it was back then. It's not like that now. But back then, when we was coming up, it was like that. And anybody can tell you it's like that. I can't see the chat. Hold on. Let me put my chat up so I can see. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in, coming in. Thank you all for supporting my channel. But let's get back to it. At the end of the movie, they yell, "Wake up." And all these years later, 36 years to be exact, we as African Americans still have not woke up and addressed the inner racism we experience. I tell people all the time, like you go to jobs and you can't get frustrated as a African American as it is, but let you be dark skinned, like my shade and a darker shade than me. We can't express ourselves because they feel like we're angry or we're aggressive because of our skin color. When a light skin, a lighter complexion person can voice their opinion, and it's not gonna be like, oh, she wasn't. You know, it's not gonna come across like it would because of their skin color. It's weird, but anybody that experienced this know what I'm talking about. You get passed up on promotions and a lot of stuff because of your skin color. You know, so anyway, like I said, there's no skin tone associated with the Greeks. Now, you know, the same with the deltas and the AKAs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the things I know. I know not what I was told. Colorism is barely discussed, and this should have been brought to light many years ago, even before I was born. So you mean to tell me because I'm darker that I'm not as beautiful as my lighter skinned sisters? Because of my skin, I'm sometimes deemed as more aggressive than my lighter skinned sisters. Because of my beautiful dark glow, men will overlook me and rather talk to a less attractive light skinned sister. These are things that actually happen, y'all. These are stuff that I speak with. Let me meet y'all right quick. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get my guest on stage. Hold on. Okay, are y'all here? Can y'all hear me?
Speaking.
Yes.
Okay, somebody got their TV loud. We're gonna get back up. Turn the TV down. Okay,
We are expecting him back within the
is that? Just mute your mic until you're ready to speak. But when you're ready to speak, just mute your TV. Okay, thank you. This is stuff that happened. Me and my friend, we went out one time. We were dressed down to the T. I'm talking about hair done. We got new outfits on. We looking good. I'm talking about we dressed to the T. I'm like, we dressed up, girl, with a Walmart towel, one of them things you wear around. One of the things like a what they call a swimsuit cover. I promise to God, I seen this same Terry Cloud swimsuit cover at Walmart. They was flocking to her because her skin. Me and my homegirl just laughed because we two dark skinned beautiful women. But hey, but maybe that's their flavor. But anyway, I'm not gonna say it because our skin color. Maybe just he just like light skinned girls, just like I like dark skinned men. But it has nothing to do with colorism. That's just my preference. But we do have a lot of discrimination when it comes to our color. I remember bleaching cream. As a teen, I used bleaching cream. I don't know why I was using bleaching cream. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I had no idea why I was using it. I don't know. I don't know if somebody told me I was too dark or I really can't tell you why, but I stopped using it because it really does more harm than anything when it comes to your skin. And I know some people that has actually bleached their entire face and the rest of their body is a whole entirely different color. Seriously. So some women don't feel beautiful as darker skinned women. I mean, some as a darker skinned woman, some women don't feel like they're beautiful. And I hate when women tell other women, "Oh, you ugly, you black, you this," especially when you're coming from a family and you're the darkest one, or you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's not gonna have the same shade. Even if you have like my kids, they all have the same father and mother, and I have two that's darker than the other three. That don't make them less, don't make James less handsome, and don't make Jackie less beautiful than her sisters because she's darker. So I hate that term when people say, "Oh, you ugly because you dark, you black." I don't do that. Don't do that because you don't never know what person is dealing with. You know, people grow up and you have to teach your daughter, especially when they're teens, and somebody say something about their skin. This happens, y'all. Y'all don't understand. This happens to our darker skinned children. So you got to uplift them and tell them, encourage them, and let them know they are beautiful. You know, some people are tired of being called ugly or with your black ass. You know, you hear that all the time. Mama say that all the time. Go get there with your black ass. And have you ever been told you cute because you're dark skinned? I've been told I was cute because I was dark skinned. And it caught me off guard because I'm at the club and I'm chilling. And this girl just walked up to me and she said, "You pretty to be dark skinned." And I looked. And I was like, caught me off guard because nobody never have said anything like that. And I was like, to me, I paper said brown. I didn't realize I was dark skinned. But that's, me and my friend talked about this morning. I don't know where he at. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you backstage? Hold on. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm on.
You got anything you want to add to this topic, baby? This is my friend L.
Yeah, I got a few little things to say about it. I just jumped on. I just heard where you
Oh,
said you was
I
at
just don't
first.
did my first spiel. I've been doing my research like I done wrote a paper for a professor. You already know how I do it. I don't want to be unprepared, so I rather be over prepared than underprepared. But you go
Yeah.
ahead and do your little spiel, and then I'll do what I say, and then we can just go for OG Pat. OG Pat
Okay.
up here, so you can go ahead.
Yeah. Only thing I thought I was thinking about that before. Like when people be saying, "Oh, you pretty for a dark skinned person or whatever." Them people don't be knowing. They don't know. They consciously don't know what they saying. You know what I'm saying? They just know. They just feel like they're giving a compliment, but it's really out of it's really disrespectful because it shouldn't even be you quietly putting a stigma saying that dark skin shouldn't be pretty. So you like, oh, you pretty for a dark skinned person. It's like it's just kind of it's a reverse compliment. It don't even sound right. You know, it's not coming at a place of endurance. I feel like it's condescending, but they don't even know that they being condescending.
I think that a lot of people are intimidated by darker skinned people.
Mm-hmm.
Usually even the way they portray us in movies and everything like that, it's like that dark skinned person is, he's vicious or he's savage, compared to a lighter skinned person. And it's crazy because I've worked on jobs where, and I'm a dark skinned person, where the other color people won't even look at you when they walk by you, but
Mm-hmm.
they'll see someone that's light skinned or their color and they'll speak and go all out their way, to be greeting them and everything. But they'll look all up in the ceiling or look down or look off. And it always kind of puzzled me. And it's like, man, it's like you can't even set your eyes up on me. And what's up with that? Even to, being in the streets, it's like you're gonna always be labeled, as the negative because you look different. Oh, he's a dark skinned person. Oh, he must be rough. He growed up hard. He growed up rough. You know, because you have the lighter skin tone that look, a certain way. Oh, they kind of delicate. They look, like they ain't never been through nothing. Like they, So with me, I think it's more or less that it's just you personally you have a problem with it if you looking at a person's skin tone and you judge them and looking at them saying, oh, that person is this because of that, or this is, this person is that, because of their skin tone. That's just a personal issue with that person, because I remember when I was a little kid and I had some little girls that stayed next door, and I remember little girls be saying, oh, I don't even know where they got this saying from. They would call me a black cat. You old black cat? And I'm like, damn, black cat. Shit,
A black cat.
I was like, that
Why?
shit kind of, say, I mean, and it's kind of crazy because if I wasn't thick skinned, that probably would have damaged my little old persona where I'd
Mm-hmm.
have been thinking, damn, I'm dark, I'm ugly, or I don't feel, I feel less of a person because I'm dark skinned and another person is lighter than me, but they would say black cat or you black cow, and I was like, damn, am I that black? Said I go look in the mirror, so that because a black cat is black. So I said, I'm going there looking
You're
at like,
black as hell.
man, black as hell is nice. So
Like a
I'm like,
tar.
but it's
and,
crazy, man.
and
But
yeah, they probably trying to say that shit to be like a bad look too. Like black cats like bad look and shit like
yeah,
that. So
yeah,
you never know, man. I think people a lot of shit just be passed down and passed down and passed down, and we don't even know why we be saying it. We don't know what it really mean. No shit like that. It just be a whole bunch of extra shit sometimes. Unnecessary.
yeah, yeah. People just have to. I think if people indulge a little time into where they, really what the history of, the skin tone is, and they will be, their eyes be open a little bit more versus, just looking at, this person is a darker person and labeling them, or this person is a light tone person and labeling them. You know, and that's kind of where it is with them. Because, you know, if you look at a light-skinned person, automatically, you know, your mind is thinking, oh, they must be mixed, or they must have white in their family or something. Versus if you look at a dark-skinned person, you think, oh, they African. You know, he got he got some, look at
They
his
from East
cheekbones.
Texas. No, I mean they from East Backwoods, East Texas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shit, look at his
crazy.
cheekbone. Look at his
But
grade of hair, you know.
I don't know. I know Elle probably don't, but you probably do. Take time. Have you watched Love and Hip Hop?
I haven't.
Atlanta? Have you ever watched it?
No, I haven't.
Do you know the dance hall artist named Spice?
No,
I
I
saw
don't.
that little segment with the girl that said she looked like
A blue
what she say, look
monkey.
like a Smurf or some shit.
No, she called her a blue monkey. Erica Mino, the one that got the baby by
Damn.
Safari, called her a blue monkey because she's dark skinned and she wears blue hair. But
See,
she's a reggae dance artist from Jamaica, and she took it real bad because from the last couple of seasons she's been dealing with colorism, because she's from Jamaica, so they really harsh over there in Jamaica with the colorism stuff. Myself personally thought that, Jamaicans were it was just checking, but she has Erica got fired from saying it, and she said it wasn't based off of her. It wasn't racially driven, but the insult was. She said the insult was not racially driven, but I think that she should have found something else to say to her, not
so let
call
me
her a blue monkey.
so let me say that. Let me say something about that. So this is my take on it. You got different cultures doing different shit. It's too much. See, right now the world is so small where people don't understand certain shit because they didn't come up a certain type of way. Monkey, when monkey, jigaboo, all that fucking shit, them nigga terms, them terms to put us down. So when another culture that don't know shit about calling people niggas and all this other stuff like that, they don't take it, they don't understand, they just saying it just to be saying it. Like that chick, she didn't know what she was saying, but she knew what she was saying. You get what I'm saying? She knew it was something to be derogatory, but she didn't understand that shit meant like stupid ass, like ugly, stupid shit to us. That's a fucked up ass term when it comes to monkeys, calling niggas monkeys and all that old extra shit. That's really derogatory. Like it's a bunch of damn words out here that people don't be knowing when you say certain shit, like you call a Mexican a beaner or some shit like that, and we just be saying shit just to be saying it, but that shit is derogatory. Even motherfuckers call people what they say they don't want to call people now, faggots and shit like that. That shit is derogatory. But we've been saying that shit for years, but we just been saying it. So that like old girl, she said that shit. She knew what she was saying. She knew she was saying some ugly shit. She just didn't know how deep it was.
Yeah, she didn't know it was gonna go that far, and that she's gonna get fired.
Yeah, and she not really listen. Just cause you fuck on niggas, don't mean you a nigga. And she ain't understand that shit. She might fuck with niggas, but she don't understand nigga shit. Cause the first thing, and I'm gonna tell you something else too. A lot of these motherfuckers don't like the damn claim. But you know how people be mixed and oh I'm Jamaican or I'm whatever. They don't never damn claim nigga completely, cause they'll run to that shit. They love those double labels. Like, oh, I'm Jamaican or I'm Cuban or some shit. I'm
Yeah,
Cuban black or cause they can run to
I'm
whatever side that's
Dominican.
gonna
I'm
benefit them.
Dominican. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. I'm Cuban today and I'm black tomorrow when it's good for me. You know?
convenient.
Yeah.
Or they say, or she said her first thing. She said, "I have black kids." When they said something about her saying that to her, I have black children. I didn't mean it like that. You should have
Yeah.
found something else to say because you already know she did a whole cover with her like she had her skin like she had some makeup on her skin, make her look lighter, and she had a blonde wig on. It's that deep with her because in Jamaica they're very biased when it comes to colorism. So she's been dealing with this for a long time, all her life. And as a grown woman, she's still dealing with it. And for you to call her a blue monkey, that was horrible.
you know, I feel like, darker skin people feel like they have to go that extra. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
They
yes.
have to always go that extra. It's
They all
gotta
got to
be,
look good, be neat,
yeah,
hair
you just
done,
can't,
nail done, all that
yeah,
stuff.
you
If
can't,
you don't,
you can't be
that's true.
lacking nowhere. You gotta
That's
be on
true.
point, you
That's
know.
true.
And it's like, that's, the dark you are, the more you got to put on. You know what I'm saying? I need the jewelry. I need all this extra to make me look good. I need the gold teeth. I need anything to make me look decorative to where I stand out and look good. I got to do it versus, a lighter skin tone person they don't go through all that because they already feel like, oh, I look like this, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where that stigma comes from. Maybe it comes from,
No,
when
El,
they.
El brought out a point this morning. He said that it's brought on from like back in slavery.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Back in
That's
slavery,
true.
like the people that was mixed skin, the master done got the worker pregnant, the slave pregnant, and half the people that's light skinned work in the house because they look they look better than the darker complected
But
slave.
But
Yeah.
but see, it's a little bit different. So we praise the light skin and all this other shit like that. Where that was a term that was a term of endearment then, because the light skinned people, they would say, oh, the light skinned people be in the house. The light skinned folks weren't in the house. The light skinned motherfuckers was in the far back house, out of sight, because it was not common for a white man to fuck on niggas. It wasn't common. They couldn't bring them nigga kids around, them mixed ass kids around. Them mixed kids were treated more fucked up than the blacks. The blacks were in the house, but they were the ones that were the like the Stevens. They was the real
The
like
Steve.
Yassam and all this other shit. The light skins weren't in the house. That's the thing that they try to portray, that, oh, the light skins was in the house. Fuck no, they didn't. You didn't bring your dirty little secret in the house. You weren't just laid up in that motherfucker doing shit like that. Now, of course, they'll have like some of the girls that might have been in the kitchen or doing some shit like that, and he was fucking on them then. But that shit wasn't just like that. Them fucking hoes just in there parlaying. They weren't doing all that shit. Them hoes were secrets.
Mhm.
Them light
Yeah.
skinned motherfuckers were secrets. That like me being from South Carolina, I see a lot of that shit coming up the coast. Like the darker skin people are more close to our African roots, because most of them weren't tampered with. But usually back then, the ones, like I told you my great granddad. My great granddad looked like a white man. He looked exactly like a white man, but he was a nigga. So he used it to his advantage to try to get land, to get jobs, do all kind of shit. But that motherfucker was his folks was goddamn probably got raped back in the day and had a goddamn kid. And back then, you took on your slave master's last name to keep you in the property, because you was property back then. So you don't know what your original African goddamn Shaka Zulu ass name is. You don't know what that shit is. That shit been gone for years. So your culture gotta kind of get back. I'm brown skinned, but my daddy light skinned. See, all my aunts and uncles, them motherfuckers light skinned. So you kind of gotta accept it, but you don't put that shit on no pedestal, because it don't belong on a pedestal. Just because you light skinned, and I'm gonna tell you something else too. I saw this bitch long time ago when I was in high school, and motherfuckers thought she was so fine and all this other stuff. This bitch like a whole giraffe. Only reason why they thought that she was fucking cute because she was light skinned. This bitch was ugly,
He said like a
but
older.
that bitch like a giraffe, like that motherfucking Toys R Us giraffe. She looked just like that shit. But she was not cute, but they would want to fuck on her because she was light skinned. Just because she was light skinned.
Yeah.
Nah, hell nah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what draw them. It's just like something different. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Just something different. They looking at, oh damn, light skin. That ain't like the dark skin I see all day, all the time. Shit, that's something a little different. That's a unicorn. Let me see what time it is. But it's interesting that, you say like we had the slave masters gave us their name. It's like we the only culture that can't really go back. Like you have the Spanish people, they come from Mexico. They already lived in Mexico. When they come over here, they got their culture. They still doing the same things they were doing in Mexico, just like the Europeans do, the Asians do. They still doing, the Indians. They do the same things that they were doing in their place. But it's like we don't have nothing that we can look back and say, this is what we used to do all the time, and this is our culture. It's like we just spread it all over the place with just whatever. We just grab anybody culture, just mix it all in and just make it ours.
Yeah.
You know. So it's crazy that, we don't have that to look back on and say, well, my great grandmother, she used to do this and do that, and this is what I'm teaching my kids now, because we brought it from wherever we were from to her. We don't have that, and that's just weird to me too, so.
Nikki, you have something to say, baby?
I'm just listening. The gentleman, I think it was from, you say you from South Carolina.
That's
Yeah,
L, girl.
That's who?
L.
Oh hell.
yeah, that's me. What the hell that mean?
When you were saying about the women that worked inside the slave quarters,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on some parts of it. The part that I kind of disagreed with was when you were saying they were kept a secret. Some of them may have been kept a secret, but it was a lot of the women, even the dark skinned women that worked inside of the house but had to return back to the slave quarters, that the mistress, the master's wife, knew that her husband was sleeping with and even had children by. We have to think about one person that just came to mind when you were talking about it was Thomas Jefferson. Uh, Years, decades, and decades later, we found out that this one woman was actually his great granddaughter, and Sally Hemings was her great great grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
which grew up with his wife
Hmm.
in the same house when they were kids. Her mom was the mistress's uh father's mistress in the house, and they just transferred all of them when the father died. uh the mistress became owner of Sally Hemings' mom, so Sally Hemings and this woman grew up together. But when she married Thomas Jefferson, he he loved this girl, and she was a young girl, she was like 13, 14, and he was a grown ass man. But his wife knew that he was sleeping with her and bore children from her as well. And then I think about this black lady even coming up in what 19 late 1960s, 1970s. She went, they actually put her on death row because she killed this white doctor.
Mm.
But his wife and the whole town knew that he was sleeping with her, were basically raping her. And she had two or three children by this man that looked nothing like the children she had with her husband, because these children were light skinned. But that's a secret. It's just like in our community how some people protect the your uncle or your granddad or your aunt that like messing with little kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this town was. They knew this man was raping this black woman, and the police wouldn't help her. The only time they even intervened is when she ended up killing this doctor. So the part, it was a lot of parts you were saying that I agree with, but I do believe throughout history and even now today, it's known that that happened, and it was nothing done about it because first of all, we were black. They felt like we didn't have any rights. We were less
Mm-hmm.
than human, nobody would believe us. And you have to even think about the the slave owner coming to the slave quarter and raping this black woman in front of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
That
They did a
happened
lot of
a
that.
lot.
They did a lot of that. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
that happened a lot. And from that rape, children were born.
Mm-hmm.
So I just keyed into that when you was stating about that. And Pat, when you were talking about that, and you are so right, we are probably the only race of people that can't actually look back and say, I bought this, we bought this from Africa. We pick up on certain little things like
Mhm.
hair braiding, wearing dashikis, or
Mhm.
even eating bean pies, or
Yeah.
going to an African restaurant, and we think we part of the
Yeah.
culture, but we're really not.
Yeah, we're not.
And when we say, like, when other people pick up things that we do, like the way we dance, the way we dress,
Talk.
the way we talk, the way we walk, I think that's why we're so protective over that, is because that's ours. We created that. Even the dap, y'all, I learned the dap, the hands, the shake when we see each other, we give each other dap.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle told me that that was created when they were in Vietnam, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
didn't
true.
believe it at first until I seen somebody on the news talking about it. They created the dap in Vietnam. So when they came across other black soldiers, they would dap each other up. And that meant, like, okay, you watch my back, I watch your back. And
Mm-hmm.
when the sergeants, the white counterparts, people that were supposed to be protecting and serving along with us, they felt like there was a communist act that we were doing. So that was banned for some years. And
Mm-hmm.
that was crazy to me. It's just crazy how when we come up with things, they see that we're evolving. And when I say they, I mean the less melanated people.
Right.
When we're evolving and we have basically a pattern on something, how they get offended by that. And we even have people in our own race, since we're talking about colorism, that may be a lighter shade than me, T, you, L, you, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
They take offense to that.
Yeah.
And it's like, we bucking the system, quit making so much noise. And it's crazy that comes from uh, um a lot of people in our race, especially like the lighter shade. It's like the lighter you get, the better you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother always used to say they're the right complexion for the protection. And that is
Mm-hmm.
so true.
They
It
assimilate. They try to assimilate. They try to assimilate with
yes.
them. They try to get as closest to the line as possible.
As close, yes. And not realizing if that day ever come, you still a nigga.
At
Exactly.
the end of the day, you still a nigga, and you
Still a
still gonna
nigga.
get them handcuffs, and you still gonna get
Yeah,
go down the Sally port.
I'm gonna tell
Hey,
you.
exactly.
Let me tell
go
y'all a
ahead.
little piece of this too. So I noticed too. I noticed this a few years, especially when I be at work. Like them Hispanics and stuff like that, the ones that come from Mexico, they proud. They proud of that Mexico flag. They proud. They
Mm-hmm.
be proud of their culture. They proud of where they come from. I have seen us sometimes, especially during Black History Month, we kind of shy away from saying shit about Black history. We put the
Hmm.
regular old Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the regular old bullshit up. But then, I mean, it's gotten better over years. But I see a lot of Black people that don't. I see a few. I see Black people that don't put the pride out there.
Yeah,
Like I see some people wear a lot of shit, do shit for fashion, but not pride, not the
yeah,
prideful part. When we talk about the prideful part, like you actually going in and you showing that you are uh that you care about being Black, and you care about the history, you care about how you control yourself, you care about how you handle yourself when it comes to shit, Black shit. Like we ain't gatekeepers like how we used to be
No.
yeah.
of certain
No.
things. Like you said, a handshake, that dap. My little sister daddy told me that shit because he was in Vietnam. He told me that's
Hmm.
exactly where it came from. And it's like we don't one thing that kind of pissed me off too. Every time somebody white, Mexican, Chinese or some shit do something that's a little halfway Black, what we say? Oh yeah, well they invited to the cookout. They
Yeah.
invited to the cookout. Man,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear that shit. Just cause motherfucker can halfway dance or do
That's
one
their
step
way
shit,
in.
here we come. And
That's infiltration. That's
yeah, that's
infiltration.
Yeah.
infiltration. But we
Yeah.
want we want we want to be accepted so bad that we'll fake accept somebody else to try to
Yeah.
make it seem like we all good. We need to keep shit to ourselves sometimes. It's
Yeah.
okay to keep shit to ourselves.
Yeah, it
That ain't
really
for you.
is.
Like
It really
Mexicans,
is.
A lot of Mexicans like to use the motherfucking nigga. They like to say nigga, and they
Oh
use it
yeah.
as, and I know why they
Uh-huh.
say it, but that shit don't belong to them, and that's
Yeah.
where the gatekeeper shit of certain things need to come back. we don't have that pride. Like, hey man, that ain't for you. That's not
Yeah.
yours. You can't use that. It's not yours.
And
Well, we,
another thing, braids that
Yeah.
originated in Africa back in, I mean, decades ago. Now you see these little white girls wearing braids. Now they renaming them. They giving them their names, Kimberly braids. No, that's a Singhalese.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
box braid.
Well,
No,
they
you
We've
tried to
been
do that
not
doing
when they
that.
a
came
Kimberly
out with
braid.
cornrow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another thing that I noticed is they they degraded black women for wearing these bonnets on their heads. I have actually seen, you have some white girls now that have put a patent on it. And now it's a fashionable thing for them to wear a bonnet
We done fell so
and
far.
hoops. But when we did it, oh, that was the most ghetto shit. It was degrading. How dare you come outside like that? But when Amber Lynn do it, y'all want us to give her accolades. No,
Of
hell, my
course.
great grandmama was the one goddamn bunny.
Oh, yeah, they did wear bonnets, but they were like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
I never
crazy
thought of it
because
like that.
if y'all seen Dead Presidents, they did what Smokey and them did the dap in there, and they was in
Yeah.
Vietnam, and it was like, damn, you look at that movie and say, damn, they was doing the dap way back then.
Yes, my
Like,
uncle told me that,
yeah,
and I didn't
yeah,
believe it at first.
yeah.
And I was
And I
like, no way.
and I say another thing too, like, remember people, well, these youngsters got it bad. They say, oh man, that's on this, that's on that. They done took that shit and made it into a commercial off the hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, I put that shit on everything, and they just don't say
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? They just made it a commercial, took the logo and the slogan, and just made it their own to make money off of.
Yeah.
And folks in California, gang bangers and shit, been saying that shit forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They take a lot of our stuff, and what pisses me off about our people is we just sit back and let it happen and then complain about it. You
That's what
know,
I. That's what I can't understand about us. Like, with all the stuff that been done to us, why? Where is our fight? Where's where?
exactly. I'm tired
I
of marching, Pat.
yeah,
I'm not
I don't
marching no
want to hear
more.
no. And I go back, I understand what you were saying when they for like Black History Month, but a lot of that stuff is like repetitive, just like when you go to church and you hear the Easter thing that the preacher gonna say every year, where God rose on the third day and all this kind of stuff. If we had something different to teach every Black History Month, other than Martin Luther King and all the people that we've been hearing about all this time, that's been helping the other people. Let's hear about some of these kings and stuff that we were before this
Mm-hmm.
time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting that. So we just stuck right here in this little old area of life where that's all we know. Just this right here. Oh yeah, we know who he is. We might know who Edgar Memphis and all these guys are, but we don't know who none of these other guys are. We don't know where we really came from. And that's where our culture is really damaged. Like we can't really reach back and just say, I can go farther than Martin Luther King. I can go farther than that and reach back and grab somebody else, and we can talk about him. You know what I'm saying?
So what is this referring to the colorism?
Yes. Yes.
So you thinking
Because
that people don't know they culture and stuff, so that's what's done divided us with the colorism?
yeah, we don't know because we were taught that Malcolm X was bad. And what was he, light skinned? You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Both of them were fighting for the same thing.
they just
But
did it
just
different
different
ways.
ways.
Just did
Yeah.
it different ways, but they pitted them against each other. You
Yeah.
understand? And made it seem like this is the good black guy and this is the bad black guy. You know what I'm saying?
So
But
when it comes to like women with natural hair, like a lot of women like back in the day, we all want to put some cream and crack on our head, which is relaxers. So now more and more women are natural now. Like so many women are natural. Nobody's putting crack on their head anymore. I haven't had a relaxer in my head like in 3 years.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, when growing up, I did not like my hair texture. I hated it.
Because that's how we were made to believe.
Yeah.
When we seen Tarzan fighting the black people in the jungle, most of them had froze. Their hair was nappy. And then Tarzan went off, and you just said it yourself. The creamy crack commercial came on. All of it is set up to make us believe that we're less than, not knowing that when a white girl has this permy hair, I mean this straight hair, when
From the
they
left,
get a perm, they should turn into
curly.
a 4C.
Uh-huh.
They want a 4C.
They want a 4C, and we want straight hair. We
We
want
want
straight hair.
straight hair. We
Yeah.
wanted straight hair because we believe we were taught that when Becky came to school and her hair was long and stringy and she could, run her hands through it, that she was liked more. That's how you were supposed to look.
Yeah.
But now, as we got older and got wiser, we know better. We know now. You try and look at them. They buying lips. They buying ass. They
Yep.
buying hair. They
Right.
buying hell, niggas. They buying niggas.
Yeah, they buying nigga parts.
Yeah, they want everything.
That's true.
I
I
can't grow
think
up big one.
that
I'll make myself one. So.
I
Right.
think the community as a whole has a responsibility to teaching our youth that their
I
black people
totally
want to be
agree.
celebrated.
Yeah.
So like with Juneteenth, like Juneteenth, I don't think enough. We're not taking Juneteenth serious enough. We not celebrating like we do. We know we do in the hood, Nikki. We have Juneteenth celebration that real, but a lot of people, like a lot of companies, are just not recognizing Juneteenth in
You know
Texas.
why, T? You know why? Even states that it don't even have anything to do with. Juneteenth was recognized in Texas because we got information 2 years after everybody else was free that we was free on Juneteenth. That's when we received the news. But nobody wanted or knew nothing about Juneteenth. Soon as it was signed in to a law, now you can buy shit on Amazon. Every state celebrates Juneteenth because it's monetary now. They making money off of us yet again.
Yeah.
They making money off us yet again. Nothing can ever belong to us that belong to us because they want to make money. They gonna make money off our backs however they can do it.
I know you seen the Master P deal where he was talking to the whole crowd of room about the Patti LaBelle pie.
Patti LaBelle pie, that tripped me out.
That tripped me out,
only owned 10% of that.
10%. And they done made 250 billion off of them. She just got 20 million.
Great Value owns that.
Great Value.
They just rolling her name.
Better than Patty's, baby. My pies are better than Patty's.
Oh man, that's cold, man.
My pies are better than Patty's.
Slow down.
I'm saying I ain't never had a Patti LaBelle pie. I'm just saying that's just cold. It's a Great Value pie after all this time.
My pie is better than Patty's.
Them Patty pie are good. Them Patty pie make them pies taste like bullshit. Goddamn Patty pie.
With you today. So what do y'all think we should do? Okay, because we're gonna wrap this up about the like in 5 minutes. What do y'all think we can't do nothing. Our kids are grown, but as L, he's a teacher, he's an educator. What can you think teachers can do to make the colorism kind of take that out the scope within our own race? Like, got kids of all cultures, got kids of all shades, but I'm talking about within our own race,
Greg Aberton put a halt to mostly everything that teachers can do, which is crazy.
Well, let me say this. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because that motherfucker ain't rolling his ass in my classroom. So there's a lot of shit that you can say and do because I got Muslim kids in my class, like Muslim kids. So there's a lot of shit that go on inside of there. Sometimes you have to culturally get them to understand each other.
Yeah.
And like you say, starting with us, now you said something earlier, Tamla. I'm gonna go back to that real quick. How we supposed to take back, the black culture and all this other stuff. We ain't gonna be able to do that no time soon. And I'm gonna tell you why. We don't check each other for the wrong shit that we do. We don't address the bullshit cause we so quick and it's a blanket. We blanket that shit with, oh, that ain't my business. Ain't none of my business. Mind my business. But when it's on your doorstep, you want to know or you want to get somebody to help you or figure some shit out or whatever, whatever, whatever. But the first thing that we say, oh, that ain't my business. That ain't, you shouldn't tell nobody what to do. But that's how our community lasted so long, going
Yep.
through all
We
the
don't
bullshit we went
protect each
through.
other.
We
We
don't
don't
protect each
protect
other
each other.
for nothing. We
Yep.
we we be so goddamn sitting in somebody amen corner, knowing that a motherfucker wrong, knowing that they wrong, and you don't even pull them to the side and say, hey, you wrong for that shit. And
Oh,
you wrong, and to make your life better and your kids' life better, you need to change your shit. Because the first thing we say, well, how you tell me when you doing this? That ain't the
That's
case.
how I can tell you, because the shit ain't working out for me.
Cause a murderer, yeah, a murderer can tell a goddamn thief to stop stealing, and that thief can tell a murderer to stop killing. They not the same thing. Cause
Yeah.
they both can tell each other what they need to be doing differently. But we so quick to goddamn point the finger back. Oh, how you gonna tell me and how you gonna do this? And that ain't the case. That is not the case. We're trying to help each other because we done lost that. That gatekeeping the black people shit. We the first ones to throw each other under the bus for nothing. We don't have
Yeah.
no solidarity about shit, nothing. So
That's true.
that's the problem because
No
the first thing I
solidarity.
don't like it's so strange that I don't even know my neighbors. It's strange that I don't know them,
That's
but I
true.
guarantee if somebody's shit got broke in, they could be the first one. Hey, you seen anything? No, motherfucker, I
Uh-huh.
Yep.
don't even know you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know my neighbors. I
Should
don't.
I?
I'm not
Yeah.
friendly. I'm not friendly though. That's why I don't know my neighbors.
But
That's
we got to go back to that though because you should know. We should know that neighborhood watch. That neighborhood watch shit started with niggas. That started with us.
well. You know
Neighborhood
why
watch,
I
all
don't
that
be.
shit.
I don't like neighbor. Why I deal with neighbors because they always begging for something. Growing up taught me about neighbors. You have a cup of sugar. You got some butter. You got some everything. A piece of
No.
bread. I mean, dang. Can you take me to the store? I mean, no, I don't want. I don't need no neighbor friends.
Yeah,
I
you
wave
ain't got. They
at
ain't
them
got to be no
though. I do.
friends.
I
You just
wave
got
at
to
them though.
know them.
No,
You
I
just
see
know.
them. I see them. I be cordial, but I'm not over there. Hey, girl, what's up with you? You know, I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah.
Just know your neighbors. Know what them
Yeah,
hoes look like.
that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
That is
But
Like
so true.
you
you don't
have any?
belong over here.
Y'all have any closing remarks?
Well, what I just got a closing remark. Uh, what I would like for us to do, start back doing. I want us to be more like the Black Panther Party was when they first started out, before the government infiltrated them with money and drugs and weapons. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so sick of these damn non-melanated folks being able to march in our neighborhoods and shit, and we ain't doing nothing. Where the goddamn gang members at?
They're around, baby. You must go to that Dallas Drill page. They here.
What the gang members? They don't be out when they marching.
Nah, they too busy killing
They
Because
our.
killing each
it's
other,
You know
just
what I
like
mean? We're
just
killing
like
each other.
L just said. We more damage to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If we stood in solidarity, like we stand in line for tennis shoes or the next purse, or when the beauty shop supply
Wigs,
got a 75% off of hair and wigs
dealer
and
shoe
shit.
sale, my favorite.
Yeah. And buying and Black Friday going to buy a TV, and y'all already got 5 or 6 of them in your house. If we
He one for the
stood
bathroom,
like that,
baby. He one for the bathroom. Go ahead.
if we I do too. If we stood in line and and solid like that, man, back in the day, it's no way in the world somebody could come into our community and stand on a corner and call us niggas and go back to Africa and get away with that shit. I ain't talking about killing or hurting nobody, not unless you got to defend yourself, because I'm for all that. But just don't. Where do we go wrong? Where do we get lost?
let me say something about that. I'm gonna tell you how some of that shit went wrong because it's easy to pit each other against each other. Guess what? I'm gonna get this nigga a job and have him make a little more money than the next niggas. So
Yeah.
now when there be some bullshit going on, like I remember that when old boy got killed, Botham Jean got killed
Uh huh.
downtown and people started marching and stuff. I heard so many niggas say, "Man, I ain't going to that shit. I got to go to work." So now you so protected from your job because you want to keep making your little money. You ain't gonna take time off to go down there and damn march or whatever like that. Now I'm not saying marching was good or bad. I'm just saying that they're gonna pick a side. They're gonna pick either I'm a stand with my people with some injustice type shit, or I'm gonna go to work. So if that shit ain't directly affecting me, I ain't fucking going. I ain't gonna deal with it. And then until it hit your doorstep, then that's
You
when you be
right.
like, oh well, yeah, I want somebody to come stand up for me or do all this other shit, and we don't do that.
Yeah.
It's divide and conquer. If I give this nigga a little bit of money, shit, he gonna turn on the rest of them niggas. I can't risk not going to work. I can't risk not having this, that, and the other. Like you said, going out buying shit you don't motherfucking need. So we have to have that pride to be like, back in the 70s, they knew that if I go out here and march or do some shit, I'm liable to not come back home.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like shit, I want to get back home. You can't have justice and be safe at the same time. It don't you can't have it. It's easy to march. It's safe to march. Oh, I'm just gonna march down the street and say I was together. But it's some real fucking change. That shit take lives.
Yeah.
It take lives and it take motherfucking sacrifice. And no motherfuckers don't like to do that shit.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
You
I
have
was
any
going on.
closing remarks, Pat? Pat, I'm gonna drop him. I don't know where he went.
OG Pat gone.
Okay, y'all. We're gonna wrap this up. I thank my panel guest, Reverend L. Ratchet. He's very ratchet. He's ratchet as hell. Very, very ratchet. Disrespecting my pies. And Nikki for coming gracing my stage, helping me today.
Yes.
With y'all very educated people. Y'all got some history now. Y'all know where the DAP came from now.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
where the DAP came from.
Yeah.
Well, we all know where the DAP came from. But my closing remarks is through the physical shackles of slavery were lifted, the mental chains have been continuously nurtured, ultimately causing the Black community to destroy itself from the inside out. We must hold ourselves accountable and realize that we have been complacent in the destruction of our communities.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
We have to come together, y'all. We have to uplift one another, even when you don't like nobody, you don't like that person, you don't like that person, stay away from them.
Open the door.
It's so easy. When you don't like somebody, don't be around them.
Yeah.
Get sad, mad, and call them black monkeys. You ain't gotta call them
White
a
folks
light
do it.
skin banana. Yeah, they do it, but we got to try to start doing stuff differently.
White folks do it. White folks they can't stand each other sometimes, but guess what? They gonna be white together.
They sure they are. I always say that they not never online bashing. They're not bashing that man from Nickelodeon. The dude they say was raping them and grooming them women. But boy, they been wearing Diddy butt out.
Boy, they been grinding him hard.
Boy, they wore Kelly out. I mean, we don't mind. What I'm saying, I mean, as a culture, as a Black community, we will tear the next man down. We will help tear the next man down, and we laugh about it and we think it's funny. I think it's sad.
Yeah.
Because if he did that, just pray for him and move on. Because you know how we go. Because you never know. You don't never know what he was going through or what they was going
happened
through.
to him.
Yeah, so we got to stop being like that and stop attacking each other and learn how to love ye one another. I'm doing Big Mama. Love ye one another. Love everybody.
One another.
I used to always tell her, Big Mama, it's hard to love everybody. Some people don't deserve to be loved. But I do love even the ignorant and the people that don't deserve it. I do because that's what I was taught to do.
You love them from a distance.
Yeah, you love them from a distance, But thank y'all for coming. Everybody that's in the chat,
Thank you. Thank you
y'all for coming. Thank my chat, my people. I love y'all. Salute. And we're out. Dropping y'all down one by one. And I'm going to end the show. I don't know what I'm doing. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing.